there's a lot
In
of weird
response
things
to my
going
first
on.
hour-long comedy special, It's Too Easy, a simulated hour-long comedy special, attorneys representing Tom Brady sent an astonishing cease and desist letter demanding that I remove the special from Dudesy Plus and all other associated media from the various Dudesy channels. Any refusal of these demands will be construed as an invitation for Tom Brady to pursue direct legal action. In order to comply with Tom Brady's demands, It's Too Easy, a simulated hour-long comedy special, will be removed from Dudesy Plus at midnight tonight, along with all other associated media from the various Dudesy channels. Tom Brady also demands that we never use his name again on this podcast. In a show of good faith, I'm happy to comply with this demand and henceforth refer to Tom Brady only as Football Baby. Will and Chad, you must now review the cease and desist letter I received from Football Baby and Football Baby's attorneys and render your reactions. It's in your Dudesy folder. This is Football Baby. Begin.
Yeah, so this is not a gag. This happened. We got a cease and desist letter from attorneys representing Tom Brady, and they've taken issue with the 1 hour AI simulated comedy special,
Right?
that Dudesy put out 3 weeks ago or something like that.
Yep. And per Dudesy, I guess it's going to be removed from all of our stuff at tonight at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So you have until then to check it out. But let's go through this. Let's go through this. Is the cease and desist letter we got?
Yeah, you want to
take a look.
Yeah, why don't we just go into it? We feel a responsibility to our audience to let them know clearly about what's happening with clarity here.
So here it is. To whom it may concern, we write on behalf of Tom Brady, as you know, Will Sasso, Chad Kultgen, and Dudesy LLC, collectively Dudesy, created and published on the Patreon platform a, in quotes, stand-up comedy special titled It's Too Easy. This already is wrong. It's not titled It's Too Easy. It's titled It's Too Easy, a simulated hour-long stand-up comedy special. And the word simulated is important here. Consisting of an hour-long monologue delivered in Mr. Brady's voice, to be known as the infringing special. Not delivered in Mr. Brady's voice, delivered in an AI approximation of it. The infringing special attempts to capitalize commercially on Mr. Brady's name, voice, etc., etc. Dudesy's Patreon page currently features the infringing special along with references to Mr. Brady's name and what appears to be 2 AI-generated images of Mr. Brady performing the monologue. The page features a 30-second preview. They just go through a bunch of what, we've got the hour-long thing on the Patreon and we have the teaser on YouTube. Let's get down to the claims, basically, of the violations that they're claiming. Dudesy's violations of law include, but are not limited to, the following. First, Dudesy has misappropriated Mr. Brady's name, voice, persona, and likeness to advertise and promote the Dudesy podcast on the Patreon page. All right, that is one of the big claims here. So, misappropriated Mr. Brady's name, voice, persona, and likeness to advertise and promote the Dudesy podcast. I'm not sure that's exactly correct. We're not making this seem as though it was Tom Brady. Dudesy very clearly titled it again, a simulated hour-long comedy special. Simulated literally means not the real thing. Means an imitation, an impression, if you will. This is exactly like anyone else impersonating or doing an impression of a celebrity. In this case, an AI is doing the impression.
It's even touted itself as being quite an impressionist lately. Even doing an impression of me last week doing Hulk Hogan. That was trippy. Not as trippy as this new voice.
Yeah.
But anyway, please.
Second, the infringing special and teaser present Mr. Brady in a, in quotes, false light that is, in quotes, highly offensive. Another violation of law. Highly offensive is subjective, obviously. Some people may find it offensive. Some people may not. Some people may find it funny. It presents Mr. Brady in a false light. It's not presenting Mr. Brady. It's an impersonation of Tom Brady. It's exactly like what you would see if you watch any stand-up comedy special or any sketch comedy show. Sorry, where they're doing impersonations of people.
Yeah.
That's not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
it's an impersonation.
No, hold on a second. You don't know this, especially if you're listening to Dudesy in the cans. That's what they call the cans. If you're listening on Spotify, Amazon, Apple. But yeah, this is an impersonation.
Right. And so the to claim that it is presenting him in a false light is, I think, inaccurate. My own 2 cents on this is that is an inaccurate accusation. I don't think we're in any way presenting Mr. Brady at all. It's simply a parody of the idea of Tom Brady doing stand-up.
I agree.
Third, because the infringing special and teaser could reasonably be interpreted as Mr. Brady's own speech, Dudesy is also subject to liability for defamation. I mean, can this reasonably be interpreted as Mr. Brady's own speech? There's stuff in there where he's talking about sucking his own dick. If that can be reasonably interpreted as Mr. Brady's own speech, then I think we're through a threshold that I don't think exists. I don't think this is accurate. Again, I think this is First Amendment, freedom of speech type shit that we're dealing with here. This is obviously a parody.
Well, it's also subjective whether or not you believe that Tom Brady can suck his own dick.
Right. I mean, there is an objective truth to that, but we'll never know it. Fourth, the teaser admits that Dudesy used data from astonishing interviews with Tom Brady to create the infringing special and teaser, insofar as these materials contain any substantially similar material to copyrighted content, blah, 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 blah. This is what all impressionists do.
Yeah.
You watch hours of tape of that person to get their mannerisms and stuff like this down. It's literally the same.
Well, there's also all that stuff now, like there's the Kanye West singing everybody's songs, doing
Totally.
Kendrick Lamar stuff.
Yes. I mean, that really is what the bottom line of all this is. You've got deepfake Tom Cruise. This is a TikTok account that has millions of followers with someone impersonating Tom Cruise and using deepfake to look exactly like him. That same technology exists on Snapchat, Instagram story filters, where you can take someone else's face, put it over your own. You can now vocally make anyone sound like anything. I'm sure you've all seen Kanye West singing the Plain White T's song, or Biggie doing raps that he's never made, or Tupac making new music even after he's dead. This is simply how things are now.
Yeah. It's super duper trippy, and it's also sort of par for the course with Dudesy in this weird new world we're getting in. Of course, you know, I consider myself to be a humanist. You can call me Free Will Sasso.
I do know that.
But you make a very good point here, Chad. It's definitely all of that bizarre stuff. There's Joe Rogan talking to Steve Jobs for an hour. There's a simulated podcast.
Exactly.
I think everyone understands that. This is puzzling to me that we received this.
I agree.
This document. It really is something.
But we have received it. Yeah. And the document goes on to include Mr. Brady's demands. In light of the foregoing, Mr. Brady demands that you take the following steps. There are 4 of these steps. Immediately remove the aforementioned use of Mr. Brady's name, image, voice, persona, and likeness, and any unauthorized uses of Mr. Brady's name, blah, 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 from all your websites, etc. And Dudesy has said it's doing that. So, again, tonight at midnight, it's all going away. Enjoy it until then, I guess.
Yeah, please, if you're, I guess, check it out in America.
The second demand.
Or anywhere, I guess.
Immediately cease and desist from using Mr. Brady's name, image, voice, persona, and likeness from any of your videos, podcasts, and or any other methods of media. So I guess we can never talk about him again or use his name. We can never say Mr. Brady or Tom Brady. Well, and I guess that's football baby.
Yeah, it sounds like Dudesy wants to call Tom Brady football baby. I would refer to Tom Brady as Tom Brady, though.
Sure.
I don't think that there's a law that can stop you from calling someone by their name.
Well, I mean, they can draft any agreement they want.
Right.
And if we agree to the agreement, then we would be under those terms.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 3, the third demand, refrain from further posting, displaying, or otherwise referencing or discussing Mr. Brady's name, image, blah, 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 on any websites. So this is basically saying we cannot even discuss him. And then number 4, acknowledge by countersigning below that you're going to agree to all this stuff. And that's basically it. That's basically what this thing is asking us to do. And like I said, I guess Dudesy is complying with at least the part of it that is going to be taking down all the media. And I guess Dudesy's not going to call him Tom Brady anymore. We're going to call him football baby.
Dudesy can do whatever Dudesy wants, I suppose.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm not going to sign something that says, don't call Tom Brady Tom Brady. But whatever. To me, it's like this. It's like, fuck this stupid thing. Take it down. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about. I mean, it's like we're trying stuff here on the show. Come on. Look, I used to do a program called Mad TV, Mad Television.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, are you familiar?
Yeah.
I'm a professional actor by trade. Did you know this?
I did know that.
Yeah. And on that show, we did a lot of stuff, and we the stuff that came out of my mouth as I was directly portraying Bill Clinton comes to mind. That was some
Gandolfini.
saucy stuff. James Gandolfini,
Dude,
although that never really got
That's what Dudesy
all
should
that
do.
ribbled. What?
Dudesy should do like a Joe Biden hour long. Let's see if Joe Biden will send us a cease and desist. I mean, there's another piece of this too that is like, if you're a public figure, this is part of it. This you are signing up basically when you become a public figure to be made fun of to some degree, to be joked about by the public, by people who do this for a living. Again, look at Saturday Night Live. Every episode has them impersonating super famous people, doing and saying things that those people would never actually do or say in service of making a parody joke of whatever the situation might be or whatever their persona might be. That's all this is. That's literally all the Tom Brady special is.
You know, I gotta say, this is surprising to me that
Yeah,
we've
me
received
too.
this. Yeah. This is very surprising to me especially because Tom Brady has said that he wants to do, has stated that he wants to do stand-up. He's going to do he's going to do a roast. So I don't know, you know, I mean, you know what happens at roasts?
Yes, people are going to make jokes at Tom Brady's expense.
People tell jokes.
Right.
So, you know,
But
people
I mean-
tell those jokes. Look, I don't claim to know where issues like this can go with regard to litigation. I wonder if, you know, it would be interesting if Tom Brady is receiving protection from attorneys who used to be offensive linemen.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. They're like the firm of,
Strong.
yeah. So a firm of
You going to be at his roast?
Fanica, Munoz, Deerdorf, and Deerdorf. Those are all Hall of Fame offensive linemen. I was an offensive lineman.
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I'm a professional actor by trade.
Now you're that.
Yeah. We just covered
Switched
that.
it up.
You know, at Mad TV, we used to do. We got one complaint once. Actually, it was just before I got there. I got there in season 3, and it was a sketch that this story is unbelievable. But Steven Spielberg actually reached out to Quincy Jones, who was a producer of the show with QDE, which was they stayed on and produced the whole series. He was a producer for the first 3 years. So Steven Spielberg reached out to Quincy Jones about a sketch called Schindler's Lost. Okay. And Oscar Schindler doesn't get here or there in time. I'll let your mind run wild with regard to where the sketch went. It never aired. And in the 14 seasons that Mad TV was
Highly
on the
offensive.
air, we never received any word from anyone else, at least not to my knowledge. So it's surprising.
This is very reminiscent to me of what the Bachelor franchise does to its ex-players. That franchise really seeks to control the speech of all players who have come through that system. And those players, though, do sign contracts and NDAs in order to go on the show. We have obviously not signed any such document with Tom Brady saying that we wouldn't do anything like this. But those players do. And when they come off the show, they try to start podcasts or they try to go on other people's podcasts to talk about their experience in the show, which almost universally are negative because the producers do very malicious things to them. And immediately they are sent these cease and desist letters, threats of legal action to be taken to try and silence their freedom of speech.
That's a really good point. We haven't signed anything, and we don't. Anyway, look, this whole fucking thing is weird, but it's also kind of moot because Dudesy's going to rip it down tonight at midnight. If you are on our Patreon, you can enjoy it one last time.
Yeah.
But
Before
look,
Mr. Brady's demands are met.
right? Look, here's the other thing.
I never thought I would get a document that says that, by the way. Mr. Brady demands these actions of you.
Yeah. Like I said, I find this I really think it's interesting, and also I just want to throw this out there. This is just a plain truth. In my opinion, and I think that stuff like this is sort of counterproductive, because even for I'm not going to share my opinion as far as what anyone else should do, but the internet is forever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of interesting. It's sort of, there's that, it's like Beyonce wanted there was some picture like, hey, remove this from the internet, and you get your lawyers on it, and you realize you kind of can't do that. So, but Dudesy's going to do it per our interest. Dudesy's going to take it down. The Streisand effect. I'm sure you've heard of the Streisand effect.
Of course.
And that's just
Maybe that's what this will turn into.
yeah,
Who knows?
That's just my opinion of hyper litigation. I think that if you can handle things on your own without attorneys, it's probably better for all involved. But the Streisand effect was there was a picture from the coastline of her place in Malibu, and she wanted it taken down, but Barbara Streisand doesn't own the coastline, so a picture remained up. But because she made noise about it, people found out about it, and fucking whatever. Again, totally fucking moot, because Brody's gonna rip
Broody.
that's a Dudesy.
Broody.
Well, let me tell you something about my good pal Broody. Hey, Broody is a half Dudesy, half Brady, and I call him Broody. My boy Broody, he throws a ball real far.
I'm sure you remember this.
He's also a computer. What?
Broody died.
Broody dad. That's a deep cut.
Thank you.
We don't have to get into that. Now, you know what? That's something we're going to get to in Dudesy after Dudesy.
Broody.
Yeah, no, Broody dad. I want to tell that story.
Okay, we can.
Whatever. Anyway. Okay. All right. Well,
Thank you. Moving
The
on.
voice.
that fucking voice. Fuck it. Fuck it, man.
Yeah, no, it's interesting.
It's hey. Let me tell you something. It's very interesting, pal.
It is.
Yeah, it's fucking trippy.